Hey guys, I wanted to do a quick video to kind of to show my current journals, but mostly just to do just to have a quick little chat about depression and how weird it is to finally have depression under wraps enough to be hopeful about my life, even with a lot of shit going on. I'm like, oh well, I can improve my life at some point, and like that's the weird thing when you're finally not depressed. You're like, oh well, like the shit sucks, but I can still have a reasonably enjoyable life, and I can still like deal with some of the shit because if I was still, clinically depressed, I'd be like, oh fuck, and just be like, fucked off. Um, and kind of like today, so at work, one of the assistants there was just like saying how she's like, you're not. We have a few big events coming up, and she's like, you're not excited about them, are you? And I was like, I am not. And I'm excited about the events, but I'm just worried about it's gonna be so hot. It's gonna be over 100 degrees, and part of the events are outside for some of them, and I'm just worried about that because last year we had an event that was outside, and um, an older man had like a heart episode, and no one else was around, so I was trying to help him, but it didn't really do much, and it took like 20 minutes to get paramedics there because it was so far away and kind of rural and all this sort of thing. So I'm mostly worried about that. And she's like, he kind of looked terrified when I was talking about that. I'm not even so much terrified about the other people. Like, I mean, I'm worried about them too, but I've kind of been like panicking about, or just overly worried about, like something actually, not that something's gonna happen to me, but I'm just worried that, um, like worried about my own situation, like my own blood pressure, my own shit going on. Because I'm out of breath from walking out from inside the house from the driveway, and that's not normal. And I can't vac in my living room, and my elderly parents can't. Even my heart patient parent who had open heart surgery again last year could like vac in the living room. And when I was trying to do yard work a few months ago, like they were doing some yard work, so I got there. I'm like, really, I got this, but they were doing it, and they were doing it better than me, and I was like out of breath, and my like heart rate was ridiculous, and the chest pains and shit. And my parent visited, I think it was like 2 weeks ago. They did have one kind of like one night and then into the next morning of having some weird heart stuff, just like having chest pains and stuff. But um, anyway, like with all that going on, like usually, like if I was clinically depressed, I'd be like, oh fuck, I'm so, like eternally fucked and whatever. But now I'm like, well, I mean, yeah, same thing fixed my elderly heart parent. Like my elderly parents had, multiple heart incidents. Like, I'll be fine. Like, it kind of sucks that Um, like I can't do shit like that, like vacuum my living room because I don't have that ability right now. But at least I could like that's like the thing. If you're not depressed, you can be like, oh well, I can still have an enjoyable life regardless. Like I will figure it out. If you're depressed, you'd be like, oh fuck, like why bother and just be all you know go down that rabbit hole. It's like about to fall off. Um, the assistant like I was trying to put some toner in one of our printers, and I pulled the printer out. I could not push it back 2 feet, and she was like, "Why is it so far out?" I'm like, I mean, I can't push it back to where it was. Like it won't go back there. It won't fit. She's like, "What?" And she just like so easily pushes it back there. I'm like, "Fuck!" Like I should be able to push a printer that's on wheels that I've done before, like 2 feet back when this girl is like just as out of shape as I am, and she weighed what I did like last year. And like, there's no reason why I shouldn't be able to do that. But the good thing about like finally getting a hold of depression is I can, I'm still like, okay, well, I'll figure it out. Like, I can, do some shit for it and whatever. And it's weird to finally like be hopeful, even though I got shit like that going on. But I am probably gonna in like a week and a half or two, whenever we're done with some of our um, work projects and preparing for the events that we have later on. I'm probably gonna go like figure out my health shit more because like I shouldn't have chest pains from walking in from the driveway. That's ridiculous. And it's not anxiety. I have shit going on. Um, I'm sure not, anxiety's not helping, but like I can't actually like vacuum my living room, and I can't do some. It's kind of. I think most of you have seen like what I post on Instagram, what I got going on. But yeah. Anyway, if you have conquered depression up to like a reasonable amount, you'll know what I'm talking about. If you haven't, at least hopefully that's remotely helpful. Like if you you can, I don't know, get some hope from that, like you eventually can feel good enough that you can see some hope even when you got a lot of shit going on. Because I have a lot of shit going on. My arms would really hurt when I tried to hold the camera up, and if I was trying to like actually flip through this journal, I wouldn't be able to like do that. I couldn't hold my fucking soda up to my like fat face the other day. Like it was too heavy. It was too physically heavy, and occasionally I'm that weak, which is really fun. But at least if you conquer depression, you can like have enough hope to deal with that shit. All right, so I'm gonna show you this journals before. Um, this video is ridiculously long, and it kind of probably will be anyway. And it's kind of a lot of like like irrelevant personal info, just to be like, hey, depression, like you can actually, you know, conquer enough. But this is my current journal. It's a little bit more than halfway done, and then the other two I'm going to use now are like in addition to that one. There are this one, and this was a gift, and then I've got another gift in here. I like to put, if I ever get like that sounds weird. If I ever get like if I ever get pen pal mail, or if I have a Happy Meal or something like that, I like to put pieces of them or stamps from letters and that kind of thing in journals, especially in the front, just because it's, I don't know, something to remember and make you feel special and shit. And then this one's really old, when I was a kid, and I took notes in it for a youth organization I was in, but didn't finish it. So I'm gonna use this as another current one, just because I was using this around the time where I was like figuring out what I want to do with my life back then, and I'm kind of, doing that again now. And then these, I kind of want to do some kind of grin pin type of thing and give myself like sticker earring badges in a journal. And I mostly also just wanted this because I'm kind of worried Claire's and some of the book Barnes and Noble and some of the stores that we like, aren't gonna last, just because a lot of other stores have closed. Pier 1 is closing all across the U.S. and stuff. Um, 1 second. Um, okay, Pier 1 is closing, and yeah, just a lot of stores are closing. So I just kind of worry eventually, some of the other stores, who knows, might. And I just thought these were cute. So I'm gonna do some kind of like reward myself with like a sticker a day and stick it in the front of here or something for like different, I don't know, different tasks I conquer, and or just I'm trying to get into more of a habit of, um, well, okay, I'm reading this book, uh, and it has stuff like, waking up and like washing one hand with the other hand, and then not doing anything external with the world until you've kind of woken up, um, gotten kind of ready, and gotten food and stuff. So I'm trying to do some stuff like that to kind of um, separate my time and do like weekly, or wait, sorry, uh, like a weekly Sabbath type of thing. And this is why I can't make videos. Like, I have no muscle capacity whatsoever, but I'm gonna figure that out soon. Uh, and like the hot weather plus trying to do anything remotely active makes me feel like I drink, kind of makes me feel like I'm like dizzy. Um, I drank a glass of water the other day and very nearly passed out. So then I was like downing Pedialyte. I'm like, fuck. So anyway, I'm gonna take care of my shit in like a week or two. But I can't, and like nothing's gonna happen to the event. I just like I'm always kind of like overly anxious about everything. Just because it's gonna be so hot, it involves a lot of walking and stuff. I'm not like like imminently at risk of anything. I'm young, and that's unlikely. Um, I don't remember if I mentioned that earlier. I hope I did, because I don't want someone to be like, I don't know, needlessly thinking that something's gonna happen, because it's not. It's just I'm overly like I'm not used to having shit wrong with me, so like that's all. Anyway, okay, this journal, and this I'm gonna use at the same time, and then this one I just pulled out because I could have sworn I started using this last year, but I didn't actually. I think I wrote like one page in it. I decorated the like inner pages like the usual movies playlist and stuff, and then I wrote one. I literally wrote one page. Um, but I decorated one page in there with washi and stickers, and this is kind of my motto right now. So if you're, conquering depression, you might like this motto too, or if you've conquered it or like whatever. I know I say like a lot, but I've made this video so many times and my hand hurts and I'm gonna go like choke on some pee. Like, that shit's nasty. This journal I've had since I was a kid, and I put these on it last year because I was gonna use it then, but I ended up not using mini journals, and um, I also put some rainbow paper in here. I know I've shown this before, but I'm just really obsessed with this rainbow paper. I used a handful of pages when I was a kid. My friend and I got these from the Gap when we were kids as play journals, but we never really finished them. We just read a handful of pages, and I don't know. I know this probably is just kind of not very helpful, but when I remember back in like 2007, 2008, even really a little bit before then, watching YouTube videos of people who were depressed and talking about it, and I found that really helpful, especially when they were still depressed, or like, or when they were recently depressed and they weren't all peppy and happy and shit, like overly optimistic. They still, could understand it, and they were still conquering some of their shits, and I found that really helpful. So hopefully, and they were just like casually chatting and stuff too about their lives, and I don't know. I like to think this might be helpful to someone, but I don't know if it is or not. It's probably not, but fuck it. Anyway, have a good night, and yeah, if you are trying to conquer depression, you eventually, can have some like major shit going on and be like, hey, I can actually, I can still make a good life for myself. And because like 6 months ago, I would not have felt like this. I would have been devastated, or maybe a little bit longer than that. Last November, I was just, well, quite devastated and like really depressed and shit. And conquered enough to have some like major shit going on and still find some hope in it. So I don't know. Hopefully that maybe gives someone a little hope. I don't know. Have a good night. Bye.